Hey, welcome to the Remotely Review. I'm your host, Remotely. Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to start out by talking about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills return for their new season. This was on April 15th, okay? Just a couple of days ago. And, I would say they're off to a good start. There's a lot of drama going on. The one thing in particular that I want to touch on, though, is the new cast member, Garcelle Beauvais. Yep. Give it up for Garcelle. Garcelle Beauvais, we know her best for her role on the Jamie Foxx show. She played Fancy. Yeah, Fancy on the Jamie Foxx show. So, she's had a lot of different career turns. We've seen her go from the Jamie Foxx show to a few different films, over to some crime procedural shows on like CBS and stuff like that. She also hosted one of those like celebrity talk shows or celebrity gossip talk shows. I forget the name of the show, but it was on like Fox or something like that, and they would shoot it over at the studio by the Metro on Hollywood Boulevard. So if you walk by the Metro at Hollywood and Highland, not Hollywood and Highland, the Metro at Hollywood and Vine. The Metro at Hollywood and Vine, there was a studio right there, and that's where Garcelle and the other characters would shoot that celebrity gossip show. And so, she's been doing a lot of stuff, but today we have her at the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I think it's a good fit. I think it's a good look for Garcelle. Yeah. They don't tell you guys this, but there's a lot of black people in Beverly Hills. You won't hear about it. You won't see it until they're ready to show it to you. But black people do live, or they do exist, I should say. Black people do exist in Beverly Hills. Whether they're on the workforce out there at those different stores, working and managing and running these different boutiques. Maybe they own their own homes out in Beverly Hills. Maybe they're a part of, the different committees and the chambers that exist out there in Beverly Hills. But the black people are doing their thing out in Beverly Hills, okay? Don't get it twisted, all right? So anyway, Garcelle, she's there. She's on the show. She's out there with Kyle, Teddy Mellencamp, Denise Richards, all of your Real Housewives characters of Beverly Hills. This is who Garcelle Beauvais is in company with, right? But it turns out she's not having a good time with one character in particular. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is my favorite character. She's been my favorite character since the beginning. Kyle Richards. Yeah, Kyle Richards. Garcelle Beauvais is battling with Kyle Richards. I don't know what it's about. Garcelle says that Kyle was the least welcoming or something like that. What does that mean? I don't know. Let me tell you guys something. If Kyle is the least welcoming, I can't vouch for that. I can't support that. I can't stand for it, and I have to reject it and denounce it immediately at this point. That's not Kyle. She has misinterpreted Kyle's kind gestures, I believe. Because I'll tell you guys something. I had the opportunity to meet Kyle Richards. Yep. This is back during a time when I worked at a boutique out in Beverly Hills. This is right up the street from where Kyle had her boutique. Okay, so if you guys are familiar, Kyle had her own retail store out in Beverly Hills, and it did well. It was synonymous amongst the community. People shopped there. Like, you knew if you wanted your vintage Chanel and stuff like that, you would go to Kyle's shop in Beverly Hills to pick it up. And so anyway, I happened to work right down the street from that. I worked at a boutique, and Kyle was one of my clients. I hooked her up with a pair of aviators, actually 2 pair of aviators. This was a blue pair of aviators and a 14 karat gold pair of aviators for her daughter. Yep. I hooked her up with those. Kyle, if you remember, you remember, right? And Kyle was a sweetheart. It was easy to fit her. She walked in looking flawless, of course. She had the hair pulled back and that ponytail. Everything was snatched. You know what I mean? She had on a nice dress. It looks like a wrap dress or something like that. It was warm outside. California is always warm and sunny in California, right? And so, so this was my chance to meet Kyle and have a one-on-one discussion and just kind of talk and fill her out, right? Sweetheart all the way around. The conversation was so easy. You're in good company when the conversation goes easy, right? When the conversation goes easy. Kyle did that for me. A sweetheart. down to earth, somebody who was relatable, somebody who you could just, maybe sit back and shoot the breeze with. You know what I mean? Somebody who you could talk to about any and everything on life. You know what I mean? This is Kyle Richards. So I couldn't detect a bad bone in her body. So I don't know what Garcelle Beauvais is talking about. We love you, Garcelle. Okay? We love you. We love you. But I can't get on board with you for this one. Not against Kyle Richards. Pick somebody else to be enemies with. Not Kyle Richards. Not Kyle. Kyle Richards? No way. That's Paris Hilton's auntie. How dare you? I'm just saying. And so, but yeah, she says that Garcelle says that Kyle Richards was the least welcoming. She says that Kyle was, she had the biggest ego or whatever. Look, this is me. This is remotely telling you guys, I've met Kyle Richards. I can't support that. I go against it completely. No, we have to reject that statement. All right, I don't know what Garcelle's talking about. Anyway, this all took place on Watch What Happens Live. This is Andy Cohen's, basically his after show of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I didn't get the opportunity to actually watch the show. I wasn't able to watch it. I was at work, and to be honest with you, I wasn't really ready for it to premiere. I guess I didn't have the proper notice. So bravo, if you guys are listening or watching right now, amp it up a little bit more. Amp up the promotions. Let us know, because the fact that you guys were going to have Garcelle Beauvais on the show this season, I was excited about it. However, I missed that premiere, and I missed that premiere simply because I didn't know it was happening. For some reason, I didn't know it was happening. And I watch Bravo all the time. I'm always there. I always tune in. I missed this one, though, and I hate that. So I have to wait until they're going to rerun it. I think tomorrow morning at 12 a.m. where I am in the country. At 12 a.m. they're going to rerun The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be there for it. I'm going to see it. I'm going to watch it because I want to see Garcelle Beauvais, in all of her essence and all of her true beauty. Because you guys know, look, the community, we love Garcelle Beauvais, right? We love Garcelle. We love Garcelle Beauvais, and we loved her since day one. You know what I mean? And so I want to see her do well. I want to see her win. If you guys are not familiar with Garcelle Beauvais or what her history is, like I told you, she started with the Jamie Foxx show, and she played Fancy, and she filled that role quite well. She played lovely against Jamie Foxx in that show. I mean, there was no Jamie Foxx without Fancy, right? And I don't care. You could bring in Silence. She was dating a guy named Silence. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and Jamie was in love with Fancy, but it took them a minute to kind of get things together and make it work. But at some point it worked, and then at some point it didn't. It was just great to see, right? And you guys know Jamie Foxx went on to win an Oscar and all of that good stuff. So Garcelle Beauvais has always been in good company until she met her second husband. Yeah, sad to say, but Garcelle Beauvais had a nasty divorce with her second husband. Mr. Nealon, he was her, I guess, a talent manager or something like that. And they were together for 9 years. And 5 out of those 9 years, this man was cheating on her. Look, I'm sorry, I do not mean to laugh, because that's not a laughing matter. But this man was cheating on her with some lady, I don't know. Garcelle says that she found a text message in his phone, and the text message read, "I love you." And so Garcelle was like, what? Who is this? What do you mean? Upon further investigation, she found out that he had been sleeping with this woman for 5 years during their marriage. Now, mind you, Garcelle has 2 twin boys by this man, by Mr. Nealon. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know what... All I know is that he's a white man, okay? Garcelle, sure she was devastated, and I'm sure this took a toll on her mentally and emotionally. With that said, she took it upon herself to, I guess, compose an email, and she sent that email out. She sent an email blast out to all of her husband's co-workers. Now, what's the point in all of that? I have no idea. Beats the hell out of me. Okay. Why would you do that? Like what? Because I'm here to tell you, it backfired. Yep, it backfired on Garcelle. The whole thing backfired because after she sent that email to his co-workers, it was released to the public. And some news blog or something like that, one of those major news outlets, they published the whole email. You know? And so on Watch What Happens Live, Garcelle, she stated that until this day, that is probably the worst thing or like the biggest regret she's had in her life because, you know, there was a lot of personal things typed in that email, a lot of different things that you would not want the public to be aware of. They were listed and specified in that email. And so, you live and you learn, right? You know, I mean, I bet she won't make that mistake anymore. Look, I'm sure a lot of you have learned this lesson growing up or at some point in your life. What goes on in the house stays in the house. You don't let that out. Okay? Period. And so she let that stuff out because she was in an emotional rage and she set herself up for failure. All right? And so we like you, Garcelle, but you got some stuff going on that I want to see unveiled in this new season of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm excited about it. I'm amped up. I'm pumped up. I'm ready to see what you guys are going to bring to this new season. You know, Atlanta's on its way out. Here goes Beverly Hills. You know we're always here for Beverly Hills. You know what I mean? It's Beverly Hills. And so thank you guys for bringing Garcelle on board. We're here to see it. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to be talking about it every week, actually. So you guys can tune in every week. I'm going to be talking about, give you guys a full review on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yep, I'm going to bring it. Yeah, because I like them. I like those girls.